Hello dear students, welcome to the class on adverse effects and contraindications of glucocorticoids. So one should remember that the glucocorticoids can cause adverse effects whenever if you use the glucocorticoids for chronic use, that means to say if it is used for prolonged duration of time, it can cause glucocorticoid adverse effects. And also one should remember that once there is excess of glucocorticoids in the body, it will lead to Cushing syndrome. So that's why you need to identify the signs and symptoms associated with Cushing syndrome to manage the excess glucocorticoid steroid induced adverse effects. So let us see what are all the glucocorticoids adverse effects can be encountered in an individual. So it can lead to Cushing syndrome, it can lead to increase in blood sugar levels, it can increase the risk of infection, it can lead to osteoporosis, it can lead to avascular necrosis, it can increase the risk of peptic ulceration, it can cause behavioral disturbances, it can lead to ocular changes like cataract and glaucoma, it can lead to delay in wound healing, and it can suppress the HPA axis, it can rise the cranial as well as intraocular pressure. It can increase the risk of convulsion and also it can increase the risk of hypercoagulability. So let us see how you can identify the Cushing syndrome or how you can identify the excess of glucocorticoid induced adverse effects whenever you are using glucocorticoid for a prolonged duration of time with high doses. So one should remember these symptoms, or you need to identify these signs and symptoms in the patient. So you need to look for moon phase, abdominal fat, because there will be deposition of the fat in the central part or the truncal region because of the shift of peripheral fat towards the central region, and you can see the deposition of fat around the shoulder as well as the neck, creating buffalo hump, and it can lead to cataract as well as glaucoma. It can lead to euphoric side effects, it can lead to insomnia, it can lead to depression, anxiety, nervousness, etc. It can lead to increased risk of easy bruising, and due to the stretching of the skin due to the deposition of the fat around the central region, it can lead to purple striae. Because of the shift of fat from the periphery to the central, it can lead to thinning of the arms and legs, and also since there is a breakdown of the protein, it can lead to muscle wasting, and also it will increase the risk of poor wound healing. So coming to the adverse effects in brief, so as we saw in the previous slide, you will be able to identify all the Cushing syndrome signs and symptoms due to the excess of glucocorticoids. So it can lead to hyperglycemia and it can create a diabetic-like condition. So sometimes in susceptible individual diabetic can be induced. It is mainly due to the gluconeogenesis as well as the once there is a protein breakdown, all those amino acids which are formed from the protein breakdown will be diverted towards gluconeogenesis. So thereby they increase the blood glucose level. And also it can increase the risk of susceptibility to the infection because of the immunosuppression, and the person will be susceptible for opportunistic infection, both bacterial as well as the fungal infections, and it can lead to osteoporosis, especially in case of elderly patient. Most common region affected is the vertebral region. It is mainly due to the loss of bone. There will be bone resorption as well as there will be decreased calcium absorption from the intestine due to the antagonistic activity on the vitamin D3, which is responsible for calcium absorption. And it can also cause avascular necrosis. The most common region which is affected by avascular necrosis is head of femur and humerus and distal part of the femur. The reason being there will be a restriction of the blood flow to those regions. So it can cause peptic ulcers, especially when it is used along with the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents. And why there is a peptic ulcer means, if you see the arachidonic acid pathway, the first step where there will be formation of arachidonic acid from membrane phospholipid, so it requires the enzyme called as phospholipase A2 activity. So these glucocorticosteroids will inhibit the phospholipase A2 activity, thereby they prevent the arachidonic acid pathway, thereby there won't be a release of the gastroprotective prostaglandins. And also it can cause mental disturbances like ranging from insomnia, anxiety, nervousness, psychosis, depression, etc. And in case of ocular manifestations, if it is used for a prolonged duration of time in the form of eye drops or eye ointment, it can lead to cataract as well as glaucoma formation. So one has to monitor for these symptoms, whether the patient is developing any cataract, whether a patient is feeling any pain in the eye, so that by monitoring regularly you can prevent the development of cataract and glaucoma. And also it delays the wound healing because of it reduces the collagen synthesis. And whenever the glucocorticoids are used for more than 2 to 3 weeks of time, it can lead to suppression of HPA axis and it can cause acute adrenal insufficiency. So it can increase the risk of intraocular pressure as well as the intracranial pressure also, and it can increase the risk of convulsions and increase the risk of hypercoagulability. And one more thing you must remember is, since it causes avascular necrosis, especially if you are using glucocorticoids in the children, it can lead to growth suppression. So coming to the important concept, so whenever the glucocorticoids are used for a prolonged duration of time, that is the chronic glucocorticoid therapy with higher doses, one should remember that it should not be suddenly withdrawn or abruptly stopped. The reason being, it increases the risk of acute adrenal insufficiency, or as well as it can create the shock-like state, that is Addisonian crisis. And you should remember that whenever you are giving a sustained therapy for a prolonged duration of time over a period, so it can lead to suppression of adrenocorticotropic hormone secretion and finally leading to the adrenal cortical atrophy. So one should remember that whenever you are using glucocorticoids for chronic duration of time with high doses, so to prevent the acute adrenal crisis or acute adrenal insufficiency, one has to taper the dose gradually. So by tapering the glucocorticoid dose gradually, it will allow the patients to restore the adrenal function, thereby it avoids the or prevents the acute adrenal insufficiency. So remember that whenever you are using a chronically you are using glucocorticoids with high doses, you need to taper the dose of glucocorticoids gradually. So how to minimize the HPA axis suppression? So there are some important points you need to follow when you are administering glucocorticoids. So you need to start with lowest effective dose. Don't start with the maximum dose or don't increase the dose suddenly. So you need to start with the lowest effective dose, and it should be for short duration of time. So it should not be for chronic duration of time, and it should be a single morning dose. And if you are using for alternate day dose, you can minimize the risk of HPA axis suppression. So if you are using the glucocorticoids for a chronic duration of time, you need to check for those side effects, and you can prevent the HPA axis suppression by gradually tapering the dose of glucocorticoids. So lastly, we will see about mineralocorticoid adverse effects. So especially the prototype drug under mineralocorticoids is aldosterone. So it can cause a salt and water retention because it increases the absorption of sodium and excrete the potassium. Since there is a retention of water and sodium, it can lead to edema, and also it can lead to weight gain, and also it can increase the risk of development of hypertension. So what are all the precautions and contraindications one should take care while using glucocorticoid therapy? So if the patient is having peptic ulcer, any hypertension, any infections like tuberculosis, risk can be increased. It can lead to diabetes mellitus. So in case of ocular infections, especially with respect to viral infections, if the patient is having any glaucoma, if the patient is suffering from osteoporosis, if the patient is having myopathy, psychotic symptoms, if he is on treatment for epilepsy, and if he has got any congestive cardiac failure and also the renal failure, and if he is suffering from any pancreatitis and alcohol induced hepatitis. So, in alcohol induced hepatitis you can use glucocorticoids, but in case of hepatic diseases other than this you need to be very careful. So these are some precautions you need to take care of. If the patients are suffering from any of these condition, you need to have a precautions, or you need to stop the glucocorticoid therapy. So this is the nutshell of glucocorticoids adverse effects. So in the next video, let's learn about adrenal steroid synthesis inhibitors. If you like this video, please do subscribe to my channel I Love Pharmacology, and do not forget to share. Thank you.